Welcome to today's deep dive. We're really settling in for a truly epic exploration today.
We really are. We're talking about power, betrayal, and, well, the supernatural.
Yeah, exactly. It's a massive collision of mortal ambition and supernatural reality. So for you listening, today we are breaking down a gripping narrative excerpt from Chasing Death, episode 16.
The Unbreakable Man.
Right, The Unbreakable Man. And we're working from a single, intensely detailed text today. It outlines this ancient feud and a really ruthless political conspiracy within a newly conquered Egyptian court.
And for some quick context, this is an alternate history where the famous general Hannibal hasn't just crossed the Alps. He has conquered Egypt and established a completely new royal court.
Right over the ruins of the pharaohs.
Exactly.
So our mission for you today is to dissect the anatomy of the ultimate power move. How do ambition, envy, and mortal scheming hold up against a player who is literally playing a 1,000-year game? Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine plotting the flawless political ruin of your greatest rival, only to discover you're trying to outwit and outlive a 1,000-year-old immortal.
It's it's the ultimate nightmare scenario for any political strategist.
Yeah.
Because the story really grounds itself in the very real, very human mechanics of a political thriller first. The stakes feel relatable titles: favor with the king, fear of exile.
You're totally lulled into thinking it's just a standard historical drama.
Right, until it shatters those human limitations.
And the opening scene really establishes that heavy, grounded atmosphere right away. We start with Zayn, our central figure, standing before the grieving widow of the recently deceased Egyptian commander.
And she is just full of bitter rage.
Oh, she is furious. She's pointing at him, spitting the word traitor at him. She accuses Zayn of murdering her husband by acting as a spy for Hannibal.
From her mortal perspective, he is the architect of her ruined life.
Yeah.
But then Zayn drops this massive plot twist. He just tells her he isn't a foreign spy at all.
He reveals that he is actually the son of Pharaoh Zenon and Queen Aria.
Right, and he orchestrated the ruin of the current pharaoh's house to avenge his mother.
Because she was poisoned by Pharaoh Zayn.
A full 1,000 years ago.
Which is just, it's mind-blowing.
What's fascinating here is Zayn's emotional detachment. He has this cold, ancient fire about him.
Yeah, he's not looking for an apology or anything.
Exactly. He doesn't seek validation. He isn't trying to win an argument. He simply states an absolute truth that completely shatters the widow's mind.
I mean, can you imagine the sheer psychological weight of carrying a vendetta for a millennium?
Humans can barely hold a grudge for a decade without it destroying them.
Right, and he's held this for 1,000 years.
Yeah.
But moving on from that heavy revelation, we enter the new regime. Hannibal has completely dismantled the pharaonic order and taken the throne.
And he appoints Zayn as his minister of court.
Which is the highest honor possible. But of course, this creates an antagonist. Enter Governor Gimant.
Oh, the governor. He is just consumed by this bitter, toxic envy.
He really believed that position was his by right. He just cannot accept being passed over for someone he sees as a foreigner.
But he has a major strategic dilemma here. He can't just attack Zayn directly.
Because Hannibal completely adores Zayn.
Right. Hannibal seats him at his right hand. He gives him a royal chariot. He values Zayn's raw courage and intelligence above everyone else. Zayn is effectively untouchable.
So the governor has to go underground with his plotting.
And if you think about it, we see this in real life all the time. Think about a modern workplace.
Oh, for sure.
When people realize they can't win a fair, direct competition, they don't usually just quit. They resort to this toxic, subtle sabotage. They work in the shadows.
Which leads the governor straight to Ina. And she is such a fantastic character.
She really is.
She's a Nubian slave girl, the king's absolute favorite, and she is just an absolute master of court intrigue. She is utterly without sentiment.
Utterly without sentiment. The governor asks her to create a plot to disgrace and exile Zayn, and Ina just laughs.
A low, melodic laugh.
Yeah, she promises a web so intricate it will leave the governor breathless. She even casually offers Zayn's head on a platter.
Which the governor declines for now. He just wants the exile. So Ina goes to work, and she executes this flawless frame-up.
It is incredibly cinematic.
She targets the red pearls. These are priceless pearls Hannibal gifted to the queen. Ina sings the queen to sleep on a moonlit balcony, steals the necklace, and literally rides through the night to plant it under the fine linen of Zayn's bed.
She is weaponizing Hannibal's own emotions against Zayn. She understands the silent warfare of court life. By targeting the king's most treasured gift, she guarantees a completely irrational, furious response from Hannibal.
It's brilliant. If Hannibal finds those pearls in Zayn's bed, there is no political defense that can save him.
None. Ina has effectively engineered a checkmate.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Zayn comes home exhausted. Normal guys would just crash into bed. But Zayn stops.
He senses it.
He senses a subtle wrongness in the bedsheets. His 1,000-year survival instinct just kicks right in.
A millennium of surviving poisonings and frame-ups gives you a very different kind of muscle memory.
So he has his Abyssinian servant, Zayn draw back the sheets. And there they are, the red pearls shimmering like droplets of fresh blood against the linen.
And Zayn's reaction is just, it's brilliant.
He doesn't panic.
No, he doesn't hide the pearls. He doesn't try to quietly investigate who set him up, which is what anyone else would do.
Right, he plays total transparency. He scoops him up, gets on his horse in the middle of the night, rides straight to Hannibal, and just hands him the pearls.
He exposes the plot immediately. He leverages Hannibal's absolute trust to completely short-circuit Ina's trap.
And the fallout is swift. The next morning, Hannibal returns the pearls to the queen, and Ina is standing right there.
Imagine her terror in that moment.
Trapped in her own lie. And Hannibal's reaction is chilling. He says, "I will not leave the conspirators breathing."
It really shows the danger of the governor's game. Ina's masterpiece of a conspiracy turns entirely to ash in seconds.
So the subtle games are over. Governor Guimat descends into total desperation. He resorts to outright murder.
The natural escalation of unchecked ambition.
He bribes an Abyssinian guard with gold and jewels to assassinate Zayn. And the assassination scene is just so tense. You have this cloaked assassin crossing silent rooftops in the dark.
Soundless leaps across the palace architecture.
He drops into Zayn's courtyard, creeps into the bedroom, and delivers 3 powerful, fatal dagger thrusts directly into the sleeping Zayn's chest.
Direct hits to the heart.
But Zayn's eyes just snap open. He doesn't cry out. He doesn't panic. And the text has this incredible imagery here. Not a single drop of blood falls.
None.
The wounds just close right behind the steel. His skin seals as smooth and unmarked as if the blade had passed through water.
It's such a powerful image.
And then Zayn just goes back to sleep.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, this is the ultimate demonstration of mortal futility. The assassin goes home to clean his blade and finds it completely spotless, deeply unsettling for him.
He thinks he's losing his mind.
Exactly, because these mortals, the governor, Ina, the assassin, they're all playing checkers. They are sweating over titles and gold. But Zayn is playing a game they can't even comprehend. He exists on an entirely different plane of reality.
Which sets up the ultimate mic drop the next morning.
Oh, the morning court scene.
The governor arrives early to court. He's eagerly awaiting the news of Zayn's death. He thinks he's finally won.
He's practically salivating.
And then the doors swing open. And Zayn walks down the hall in full royal regalia, looking vital and completely untouched.
And remember the Abyssinian guard, the one who stabbed him.
Yes, he's standing right there in the hall. He sees the man he stabbed 3 times walking like a god, and he completely loses his mind. He just faints dead away on the stone floor.
Just crumble.
But Zayn doesn't even break stride. He walks right up to the terrified, speechless governor, smiles knowingly, and delivers this ultimate chilling line.
Best line in the chapter.
He just says, "Good morning, Governor."
The governor is just stripped bare. He's staring at an enemy who cannot be outsmarted, cannot be framed, and literally cannot be killed.
It is absolute psychological dominance.
Truly.
So, bringing this all together, what are the key takeaways for you listening today? The text masterfully blends political espionage with supernatural horror. But it's also a stark reminder that we don't always know the true nature or the hidden depths of the people we choose to make our enemies.
It really forces you to look at your own battles.
Exactly. Consider your own life. Are you expending energy fighting against forces you don't fully understand?
Are you resorting to petty sabotage out of envy, completely underestimating the resilience of the person you're trying to undermine?
The governor and Ina certainly did, and it cost them everything. But before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a lingering question, something that isn't directly answered by the text, but it's really worth thinking about.
It's the big existential question of the whole setup.
Right. Zayn spent 1,000 years fueled by a single burning desire for revenge against a poisoned lineage. Now that his vengeance is finally complete, and his enemies at court are utterly powerless against his immortality, what does a man who cannot die do with his next 1,000 years?
It's a heavy thought.
What happens when the unbreakable man loses his ultimate purpose?
That kind of eternity could easily become its own curse.
Something for you to mull over the next time you find yourself crossing the finish line of a major goal. Thank you for joining us today for this deep dive into the newly conquered Egyptian court. Stay curious, and we'll catch you next time.